the rebrand took us from doing good stuff to having a good story. And that was fundamental because by having a good story, we were able to, I guess, allow people to buy into that story and to become champions of the cause. And so it's bigger than just our brand, actually. It's about our purpose. I'm Rhys Williams. I'm the Chief Executive of The Makers, which is a non-profit community development organisation in Western Australia. For us, there was a question about, well, we know what we do, but we weren't actually clear. It became more apparent to us. We weren't clear about why we did it. And the rebrand process with Media on Mars, it helped us to clarify what our values are. It helped us to sort of come up with that narrative around the link between the projects. But more than that, it helped us to identify who we are and why we do what we do. As the founder of the organisation, it was a deeply personal thing to go through a rebrand. You know, I imagine like naming a child, because we had to factor everything in. You know, are we going to get bullied in the playground? Are people going to understand what it is that we're trying to say? Are people going to be able to spell it right? There were so many different factors to this. And now I think we've got the best name and the best brand out of any non-profit that I know of. And people get it straight away and people love it. But we had to have courage and we had to have trust in the process. I think we thought that we were going down the path of just, you know, a new logo, a new name, and that was all going to be easy and that was going to be the extent of it. But what it was actually about to start with, we didn't even talk about what the brand was going to look like. We didn't talk about the name until, you know, the fourth or fifth kind of meeting. The start was all about who are you? What do you believe in? What are your values? What's your purpose? And they're pretty confronting questions to answer. And I got to say, you know, we didn't know the answers to a lot of them. We knew, I think, intuitively, but to be able to articulate that was a real challenge. And so the process actually helped us to identify our purpose, to identify why we existed. And that didn't just help us be better at what we do. It also helped us to identify, you know, what our unique selling point is to our customers and our clients, which has a real commercial value as much as the actual brand itself does, I think. I think one of the implicit outcomes that came from this process was for us understanding the importance of having sophistication around our communications. And that's a really important lesson, especially for new organisations, startup organisations. It can be hard to justify the expense sometimes of a full rebrand, but there are so many different facets to this that will help us to be a stronger organisation in the future. Truthfully, I guess we asked ourselves at the start, could we just do this ourselves? Could we have a couple of strategy sessions with our team and then get a designer to put something together for us? But, you know, we went with the option of engaging the experts at Media on Mars to help us go through the whole process, and we didn't really know what that meant. Following on from the rebrand, all of a sudden people right throughout Western Australia were contacting us and saying, we've heard about the Makers, we've heard what you're up to, we know what you're doing. We think you're so bold, we think you're so courageous. The exact elements that we talked to Media on Mars about building into the brand were the things that people were communicating back with us about our organisation. And that was pretty remarkable. And for me, just confirmed that, you know, it was worth the process, it was worth the angst, and what we've got now will really propel us into the future.